As we find ourselves at the start of 2025, many people are speculating about what this year might deliver geopolitically, and most of those speculations hinge on President Trump's new term in office. It is true that the global influence of the USA has a ripple effect throughout the rest of the world, and so the policies that President Trump will implement have the potential to influence most people in one way or another. There is one overarching positive aspect, though, that should not be overlooked, and that is President Trump's unashamedly Christian stance and his willingness to let it influence his decision-making. America remains the biggest Christian nation in the world, but a lot of its Christian influence gets lost if the nation isn't led by someone who professes Christ and who is open to Christian counsel. Under the Trump administration, Christianity will maintain a certain level of respect as a religious orientation on the geopolitical landscape, and that is something that should not be taken for granted, because we know this will not last forever. Scripture tells us of a future global leader who will not only exalt himself over Christianity, but over all religions. 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 3-4 says, "Don't let anyone deceive you in any way, for that day will not come until the rebellion occurs and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the man doomed to destruction. He will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, so that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God." We thus know for certain that very challenging times lie ahead of us under such global leadership, but we don't know when this man of lawlessness will appear. We should therefore not take the current situation for granted, in which the biggest Christian nation in the world is also the most powerful nation, but more importantly, it is also led by someone who professes Christ and who allows for Christian counsel within his decision-making. Donald Trump is not a saint, and all the decisions he will make will not necessarily be biblically sound, but he does render Christians a voice and respect around the most important geopolitical tables in the world. Many Christians will only realize how valuable that influence was once we have lost it. But that is why we should make the most of the current season, because we don't know how long this season will last. All Christians should be discerning regarding this matter, but the church in America even more so should ask the Lord how He wants them to use the next 4 years for the strengthening and growth of His kingdom. It is very similar to the days of Noah, for we know a storm is coming, but God has given us time to prepare for the storm. Our storm, however, will not be a physical storm, but rather a spiritual storm. And since our storm will look different, we also need to build a different looking ark than what Noah built. We need to use this time to build strong spiritual arks to carry us through the future storms and help us stand firm till the end.